Now, going over to the culture part of the podcast, you have Disney critiqued for race swapping Hercules, as reports show that Michael B. Jordan is most likely going to leave a live action adaptation of the original film. Now, this was also one of those instances where, let me know in the comments, when was the last time Disney actually made a profit? Well, that in general, in terms of films, they certainly have not. They've lost about $2 billion dollars over the past 12 movies or something like that. It's perhaps a business blunder of, oh, it'd be hard to say. Business blunder of the year. What award? It's hard to say who's in the lead. Bud Light, who's lost, just Q2 alone, they lost $400 million dollars compared to the same Q2 last year because of the Dylan Mulvaney controversy. Or Disney, where they lost about $2 billion dollars in the course of a year with all these movies. Ooh, that is a debate to be had. Who should win the business blunder of the year? And do we mail it to them? That might be an interesting topic for another time. Now, this is one of those trends where this is, I guess the film's newer than I thought, relatively speaking. The original film came out in 1997, voiced by James Woods, and it actually also included Danny DeVito as Phil and Rip Zorn as Zeus. Now, they also claimed in 2021, it was leaked, and this is thanks to the Publica, that Disney was, quote, looking to cast a non-white character in the titular role, despite claiming that they were not ruling out a white male. Hollywood insider Daniel Richmond speculated Disney was, quote, actively pursuing a person of color to lead the live-action remake. Earlier this week, rumors began to articulate that the American actor Michael B. Jordan may be in talks for the role. This is another comment by Johan Power Media, saying, quote, Michael B. Jordan is tapped to be the star of the Disney film Hercules. I hesitate between laughing and crying. When will there be a biop on Rosa Parks, played by Merle Robin? F. Wokeism wrote, unquote. That was according to political commentator Johan Palmedias, although this person used the whole swear F word while I censored it. Perhaps to sound a little bit more tasteful. Nevertheless, this is one of those fascinating things where you only see it ever done one way. And I don't know if this is one of my favorite, well, not my favorite, a fascinating conspiracy theory I have, or that rather more appropriately that I've read on the internet, is that Disney wants to wipe out the existence of redheads. Because they have a whole compilation of dozens of movies where there used to be white redheads, and then every single time they just race swap it for someone of African American descent. It's almost as if the ginger community has no representation. Where is their cause or their banner or their group? They need some better marketing is what I'm trying to say. I think perhaps that is a real concern. But it's interesting to see. They do this time and time again. Famously, they did this in the Little Mermaid, where they changed out that redheaded ginger white gal for, I think it's not Haley, the new actress Haley, and she was African American. And there's a fair amount of pushback. Now, granted, like most Disney movies, it didn't make money, and there's a lot of debate of, well, was it specifically for that alone, or was it because of the bad music, the terrible, terrible lyrics they put in the music? Was it because they had that weird? There used to be, what was it? The fishes that used to be cute now are grotesque in terms of they changed the fish from being like a cartoony, neat-looking thing to almost like a amalgamation between cartoony and real. They also removed any semblance of morals and values, which I know are words that are foreign to people at Disney these days. They basically had entire themes of the movie removed, entire redemption marks taken out. Now, again, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, ADHD note here, but if you click the subscribe button, it may help with my stuttering. It's not 100% fixed. We don't know. It might be. However, I feel like it's gotten slowly but surely better over time. And if you click the button, it may in fact assist. Perhaps. Time shall tell. But when it comes to this Disney controversy, you also have them with Snow White, where they, again, this wasn't an issue where they got rid of the ginger representation, but the new actress is Rachel Zegler, who's known for being insufferable, and she literally insulted the intellectual property of the original film. And of course, she is actually, I believe, Hispanic, and it's one of those instances where Disney delayed that release again. So they're going to rework parts of that film. So the race swapping, I think, and also prevalent on Netflix, in terms of the cultural controversy, I think it's a big point of contention with many people because it's only done one way. You really don't see films where they change it for a different race in that regard. So I think that's why you see more and more pushback. I'm surprised there's not like a whole coalition in the ginger community that's starting to realize we're being affected more than anyone else when it comes to the swapping, and yet there's no one standing up for that particular group. So perhaps that'll be the newest social media trend, hashtag save the gingers or something like that. But let me know in the comments, does this concern you or do you really care? Do you think this will affect sales at all? Will it actually increase their sales? Again, it hasn't historically, in terms of looking at the instances where Disney did it, but maybe in the future? I don't know. It's a strange instance where I think Disney wants the best of both worlds. They're attempting to keep, what do you call it, taking a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, which, if you actually do, is a fun experiment. It actually degrades the image over time. But they're basically taking what little ideas they originally had and trying to make them a modern adaptation. But in doing so, you have this awkward amalgamation between old ideas and new ideas and old themes and new themes, when I think if they wanted to make a profit on a film, just come up with a new idea, and then you could have a lead actor or actress. It really doesn't matter what their origin is because it's a new idea. You're not changing anything. And depending if you're ginger, this might be an irate point of contention where you feel like you don't get that representation anymore. So if they have a new idea from the ground up, which I know is a crazy radical idea to say that Disney should make something new, but if they were to do that, this controversy or this cultural discussion really wouldn't exist because they'd be making something new. So again, I don't think Disney will do that. I believe that would be a prudent business decision, and we both know that seems to be the antithesis of what Bob Iger is going for, also known as the opposite. I know public schools are all-time low for most of their test metrics, so they're a little fun word of the day. We just added more value than some public schools in the United States, which might sound ridiculous, but it actually is not a joke. But let me know in the comments. It'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Do you think this will actually help increase the popularity of the movie? Because it is getting people to talk about it. And again, this is nothing confirmed. This is heavily rumored. And but given the track record of Disney, I think there's a high probability it will come to fruition in this regard. But will it help the film, hurt the film, or just nothing at all? I mean, some people say there's no such thing as bad press. I mean, the people that say that probably don't work in Budweiser anymore. But nevertheless, another topic for another time. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Also, can't thank you enough for taking the time to click that subscribe button. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November. So if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to help me develop the channel, make the show better and better, and improve the quality. And lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.